In this session, we're going to learn how to take these little samplers and create a custom holder to be able to hold them out of acrylic, like the piece that you see here. So we're going to start with some really basic tools. One of the things that we're going to use is a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, and a set of digital calipers. The calipers that we're going to work with here allow me to measure the diameter across of my circles. And then I want to leave a little bit of tolerance or a little wiggle room in order for me to be able to have this set in freely and to be able to be pulled out really easily as I move this thing around. We're going to show a little slice through here to see how do we start stacking these layers up. And once I have that, I've got kind of a rough idea of what their layout's going to be, and I'm going to go ahead and lay these out on another piece of paper, and we're going to start to render this out at full scale. So looking inside of here, by default it comes with about 9, I think, total inside of here, 4 in the middle, 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom, as far as layout goes. And I'm just going to go a little bit larger and then kind of render it out. Once I've done that, now I can take it in for digital fabrication to a program called Autodesk Fusion 360. From Fusion 360, I'm going to save that or export it out and bring that into Adobe Illustrator so I can separate colors. Once I've got those colors, that's going to help me distinguish inside of the laser cutter that we have here what's going to be cut and what's going to be etched. Now that we have all of our pieces cut, we've got a bottom layer out of acrylic. We've got 2 layers here that are going to give us a little bit of distance between for that to set. And we have our top layer with the holes cut so that these items will fit and sit right inside of. Now to put them together, we're going to use an acrylic fast set glue. And this item right inside of here, this solvent goes in really quickly, and I'm just going to use the syringe portion with that. And what that's going to let me do is to take 1 layer at a time, and this works pretty quickly to be able to melt and put that layer of that solvent and material right into that. Just put a little bit right around my edge. What it will end up doing is sealing that material right to itself. It is literally chemically fusing it, welding it right into place. Just double check my edges. And it feels pretty good. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of pressure. This sets up really quickly. That's one of the nice things about this, is that it doesn't take long to achieve the results that we want to be able to hold right into place. Now that I've got my first layer, I'll come in and do my next layer. As you see one to the other, it just lets me line all of this up. And like last time, just give it a little bit of pressure. Okay, now we're ready for that top layer. Just put a little more pressure back down here. Everything feels good. And then for me, last but not least, I'm going to flip this over and give myself a couple of little rubberized feet just to be able to hold this together into place. I'm going to stick one of those at each one of my holes. Kind of use that as a centering point, just for aesthetics. I think it helps that. It just gives it a nice feel when you set down on something. You don't have to worry about the acrylic slipping around. And 3 more. The other thing is, as I'm pushing this down, it's giving me pressure as that part finishes setting up. And really, it's about, I think about 80% at this stage, and then over the next 24 hours, it'll solidify a little bit more and harden up any of those last components. And now I've got a nice shelf. Put these in, put that back for later. The thing is, you do want to make sure that you seal all of your solvents right back up. This will, even out of here, if I leave it for a week or 2, it will start to leak out inside of there. Same thing with the cap on the container. Just make sure that that is on really tight. And now I can take all of these and start stacking them right back in here, getting rid of all these items that I had or used to keep inside of this tube. Every fresh one of these sampler kits that you get, when you first open them, they'll be sealed like that. I always end up either cutting a small slit into it or cutting the whole thing out. It still at some point is going to leak. And now that I have these in here, I no longer have to worry about that. I can pick this whole little tray up. I can move it around. It holds pretty well with that. And that gives me everything that I need for today's quick little project, which also helps me with organizing. And if you like this kind of stuff, you'll find more information down below on the actual project files so that you can cut your own. Thanks.